Polski ma ten urok w sobie, ma ten urok w sobie. Kto go raz pokochał, nie zapomni w grobie. Kto go raz pokochał, nie zapomni w grobie.
Drużyna herbu Abdank zwyciężyła w składzie Krystian Łuniewski, Jakub Bester, Agnieszka Łuniewska, Krzysztof Łuniewski, Magdalena Bester i Marek. Jeszcze raz serdeczne brawa. A teraz chcieliśmy wyróżnić również dwie grupy, które również dotarły i o dosłownie koński włos zajęły drugie miejsce. Serdecznie gratulujemy zdobycia zaszczytnego drugiego miejsca.
Moją kolegą matka się schylała, matka się schylała. I po polsku Pacierz mówić nauczała, i po polsku Pacierz mówić nauczała.
Chorągiew Jasna Góra, która prezentuje honorową wartę przy pomniku Jagiełły. Witam Państwa serdecznie i chciałem przekazać teraz głos konsul Katarzynie Pawło.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted that 77 years after the King Jagiełły monument arrived in New York, we can meet here and celebrate this beautiful anniversary and celebrate the recent completion of the conservation work on the monument. Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome once again Secretary of State, Senator Anna Maria Anders, and Mr. Maciej Pisarski from the Embassy in Washington. I would like to express my gratitude to the Monument Working Group, which made this event possible. Thank you very much for your dedication, your work, and your invaluable support for this project. Applause, please, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, King Jagiełły, who was the King of Poland and Grand Duke of Lithuania, remains a symbol of power and unity in Europe. Thanks to his great victory in the Battle of Grunwald, we can say that this battle was actually the most important and one of the most important victories in the Polish history. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to have this beautiful symbol, this impressive symbol of Poland here in Central Park, in the heart of the city. Thank you so much. I would also like to stress that October is a month of Polish-American heritage, and I'm very happy that we can unveil this monument still in October, to mark the Polish heritage, the Polish presence in the territory of the United States. And thank you so much.
Hello everybody, I am delighted to be here. I came all the way from Warsaw, Poland for this ceremony. It is an extremely important ceremony. This monument has been here for 77 years. It's particularly important because I have never seen it before, in spite of the fact that I have been to New York so many times. So I think the fact that it's renovated brings a fresh attention to it. It is a huge tribute to Polonia. It's been a tribute to Polonia for the last 77 years. Its history is extremely interesting. Somebody else will be recounting it. As far as I see it, I think it's important. It's a symbol of nationalism, patriotism, and inspiration. Inspiration for everybody. Inspiration for our young people because they look at heroes that they should admire and copy. And inspiration for our army because they see what a victory is about. I think that King Jagiełły is a fantastic figure. It's a figure of optimism. We need ceremonies like this one. We need optimistic, happy ceremonies. We attend too many sad ceremonies at various funerals, memorials, and so on. Dla gości tutaj z Polski, bo wiem, że jest kilka osób tutaj z kraju specjalnie. Witam serdecznie, bardzo się cieszę, że jesteście tutaj razem z nami. Bardzo ważna okazja dla Polonii i ważna okazja dla Polski, bo to jest naprawdę łączność, uważam, między Polską a Polonią. Jesteśmy tutaj Polacy i Polonia, wszyscy razem przed tym pomnikiem, symbol Polski i Polonii razem. Na mnie to bardzo, bardzo zależy. Czuję się senatorem nie tylko w Polsce, ale na Polonię na całym świecie. Także szczęść Boże, cieszę się, że jesteście.
It is important that we look back at these events not just as a historical occurrence, but also as a lesson which we can use as a model for how we should be working in our current circumstances.
Thank you, Father. Now we'd like to ask Senator Anna Maria Anders to cut the ribbon. Panie Angelus.
Jeszcze Polska nie zginęła, kiedy my żyjemy. Co nam obca przemoc wzięła, szablą odbierzemy. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, ziemi włoskiej do Polski. Za twoim przewodem złączym się z narodem.
Proszę Państwa, najważniejszą postacią tutaj jest oczywiście król Jagiełło, ale drugą jest Mary Walsh i Central Park Conservancy. Proszę, dear sir, the most important figure here is the statue of King Jagiełło, but the second one is Maria Walsh and Central Park Conservancy, wonderful organization who is custodian of our statue and who help us to keep in great shape. Thank you so much, Mari, and we'd like to ask you for some words.
Thank you so much. And honestly, I feel very moved to be here and to just see everybody who's come out today to really honor this great work of art. And it's, again, very moving that it means so much to so many people. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the work that we did. I think some of you are familiar with it. There had been some issues with the attachments from the statue to the base. We had noticed that they had deteriorated, so we took the statue off of the base and we put it on its side. We had it stored over there, as some of you had noticed, and we created a whole new structure to attach it back to the base. So really what we were doing is just ensuring the longevity of this really important monument, and we wanted to make sure that there would be no kind of issues in the future. The other thing that we did is we applied a new bronze coating to the monument. So that is something that may be noticeable to some of you who have paid close attention to the monument over the years. It used to have more of a kind of reddish tone on the surface, and that was actually because the coating that had been applied in 1984, which is the last time this monument was conserved, was starting to fade. So we applied a new coating on the monument, and we actually went and looked at different examples of Ostrowski's work that are in New York City to get a sense of what the original patina would have been, what the original color would have been. And based on that, we came up with a color, and that's what we did up here. So we're really pleased with how this project turned out. We were really thrilled to be able to work with the working group and have their input and to be able to take them to the site at different points during the process. It was a really wonderful process. So I thank you guys for all your support and your enthusiasm about this monument, and hope to work with you more in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now I'd like to ask Minister Maciej Pisarski, maybe you'd like to have some remarks?
Just very briefly. Szanowni Państwo, drodzy przyjaciele, ja myślę, że tutaj już bardzo wiele słów zostało powiedzianych i wszyscy dostrzegamy znaczenie tego pomnika. Ja bym chciał tylko powiedzieć, że Dla mnie jest to przykład wspaniałej współpracy pomiędzy osobami, liderami Polonii, między organizacjami polonijnymi, które te osoby, prawda, wystąpiły z tą inicjatywą, znalazły energię, znalazły taką determinację i wolę, pociągnęły za sobą tutaj właśnie lokalną organizację, która zajmuje się konserwacją parku. My byliśmy jako ambasada i jako konsulat tutaj w Nowym Jorku szczęśliwi móc dołączyć się do tego dzieła. Jedyny mój apel do Państwa jest taki, żeby ten pomnik, ja wiem, że to może zabrzmieć troszeczkę dziwnie, ale był żywym pomnikiem, znaczy żeby to miejsce było miejscem, gdzie Polacy, polscy Amerykanie się spotykają, gdzie, tak powiem, wyrażają swoją radość, swoją wdzięczność i po prostu chęć i wolę bycia Polakiem, bycia polskim Amerykaninem i wspomagania właśnie rozwoju relacji polsko-amerykańskich w duchu właśnie przyjaźni i takiego prawdziwego braterstwa opartego właśnie o wartości historii, ale także takiego zwróconego ku przeszłości. Także dziękuję bardzo i raz jeszcze grupie roboczej. Dziękuję zwłaszcza pani Krystynie Piórkowskiej, z którą na ten temat długo żeśmy rozmawiali. Dziękuję moim koleżankom z konsulatu generalnego, pani konsul Padło, pani konsul Tung i oczywiście dziękuję serdecznie pani minister Anders za to, że zechciała tak powiem, tutaj przyjechać i wskazać, podkreślić to, że cały rząd polski całym sercem stoi za tym projektem. Dziękuję bardzo i wszystkiego dobrego.
Krzyżacy czekali na armię polską, która musiała przeprawić się przez Wisłę. Planowali wtedy zniszczyć ją silnym uderzeniem, ale Jagiełło przechytrzył ich, miał taki świetny pomysł.
Rozkazałem moim cieślom w największej tajemnicy zbudować most pontonowy. Nikt jeszcze takiego mostu nie zbudował. I oto całe moje wojsko przeszło przez Wisłę w ciągu jednego dnia. I oto stoimy koło wsi Grunwald i jeśli zwyciężymy, zagrodzimy Malborkowi, stolicy Krzyżaków.
Dnia 10 lipca Jagiełło stał na szczycie wzgórza i ustawiał swoje wojska. Polscy i litewscy rycerze ukryci byli w lasach. Minął czas, a ani Jagiełło, ani krzyżacy nie zaczynali bitwy. Był bardzo gorący lipcowy dzień.
Ale upał! Widzę, że moim rycerzom jest strasznie gorąco w ich wspaniałych zbrojach. Już prawie południe, a wciąż czekamy na bitwę. Wyślemy do Jagiełły poselstwo. Trzeba ich zmusić, aby dali pola i zaczęli bitwę. Więcej nie możemy czekać.
Wielki mistrz Ulrich von Jungingen przysyła wam te miecze, żebyście po lasach nie kryli i do bitwy stanęli.
Mieczów ci u nas to statek, a te przyjmują jako znak zwycięstwa. Brawo!
Litwini uderzają na krzyżaków. Litwini uderzają na krzyżaków, ale muszą uciekać. Litwini są lekko uzbrojeni i nie wytrzymują ataku krzyżaków.
Jagiełło wydaje rozkaz uderzenia polskim ciężko zbrojonym rycerzom.
Jest pewny zwycięstwa. Sam uczy się wir bitwy. Wielki mistrz Ulrich von Jungingen zabił go polski rycerz sztuki ze strzelą.
Bitwa pod Grunwaldem miała miejsce 606 lat temu. Co roku na polach Grunwaldu odbywa się inscenizacja tego wydarzenia.
W polskiej szkole uczymy się historii Polski. W polskiej szkole w Yonkers uczymy się historii Polski średniowiecznej. Od chrztu Polski do czasów współczesnych. Ta inscenizacja to część naszej pracy nad historią polskiego średniowiecza.
Brawo dla Polskiej Szkoły Bianki!
Zapraszamy teraz grupę Uty Szczerby, która prowadzi tutaj śniadania pod pomnikiem Jagiełły już od ponad 20 lat i jest bardzo blisko związana z pomnikiem, o złożenie darów i podejście do pomnika. Równocześnie zapraszamy wszystkie panie, które mają kwiaty, o złożenie wieńców, ewentualnie jeżeli mają ochotę.
Ten naród polski ma ten urok w sobie, ma ten urok w sobie. Kto go raz pokochał, nie zapomni w grobie. Kto go raz pokochał, nie zapomni w grobie.
It was on May 25th when we met with the Central Park Conservancy and were joined by then Consul Mateusz Stąsiek, that we made a decision to organize a symposium, which then grew into a two-day project. I'd like to thank all of those who have joined us and supported us, and I'd like to ask Consul Mateusz to speak. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and great honor to welcome you all to the Consulate General of the Republic of Poland in New York at today's celebration of the 77th anniversary of the arrival of King Jagiełły Monument in New York and the recent completion of the conservation work on the statue. I am delighted to host this amazing event, this symposium, in the presence of outstanding scholars and field specialists who will today share their precious knowledge with us. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, let me recognize our special guest, the Honorable Senator of the Republic of Poland, the Minister, the Secretary of State, Madam Anna Maria Anders. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout this day, we will discuss the artistic, cultural, historical and social meaning of the statue of Jagiełły and of Stanisław Ostrowski's work. We will talk about the role of Jagiełły in Europe and in uniting Europe. And we will talk about the recent conservation work at Central Park.
As introduced to you, friend, my name is Anders. I wish to sincerely thank her for her presence here today and for her continued work in fostering our dialogue with the world. Senator Anna Maria Anders.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, first of all, let me thank the entire King Jagiełły Monument Working Group and the Polish Consulate for inviting me to be the patron of this significant event. I'm honored and really pleased to be doing this. I feel that it's extremely important for Polonia. It's been important for Polonia for the last 77 years since this monument has been here. I think to a certain extent, perhaps unnoticed, I have to confess, as somebody who has been to New York many times over the years, I had never seen it. So at least, there are other people like me, at least it draws the attention to the fact that it is there. I think it's important also because the King Jagiełły monument is a commemoration of a great event. We need something positive. As somebody who, as long as I've been in the government, has been talking about the fact that Poland needs a positive image, I think this is a great positive thing. It is a sign of victory. I bemoan the fact that in Poland, we're always looking at sad movies. I go to countless ceremonies in front of different I would say statues, cemeteries, always something sad. So let's celebrate something good. About 3 weeks ago, I was at the Kościuszka Foundation with the Deputy Prime Minister of Poland, Piotr Gliński, And we talked about improving Poland's image in the world, and I had my say about what I felt that Polonia had to do, because I think there is a significant lack of information about Poland and generally. And Prime Minister Gliński was talking about culture and how through culture we can improve Poland's image. Well, this is an example of culture. It is an absolutely beautiful statue. I can see from the pictures, and I will see it for myself tomorrow. But its significance is victory. And it has inspired many writers and painters over the years. We had Sienkiewicz, who was inspired by the figure of King Jagiełły and wrote the book Krzyżacy, which is the Knights. It inspired Jan Matejko, who did a beautiful painting on King Jagiełły. We need this. We need the inspiration. I honestly believe that perhaps the soldiers who were in my father's army at Monte Cassino felt a certain kind of inspiration. Every soldier needs to think that there's going to be a victory. I have a son, I have to admit, that is going to Iraq tomorrow. He's in the US Army. And, you know, he's positive. You have to be positive. So I think it's a question of inspiration for fighters, for young people. So, as I say, a wonderful event. Thank you to everybody who made this possible.
Mayor LaGuardia was present at the unveiling or the opening of the Pulaski Park in what is now known as the South Bronx, near St. Adalbert's Parish, Parafia Świętego Wojciecha. And at that time, Robert Moses was Commissioner of Parks, and he announced that he wanted to keep the tower from the Polish Pavilion in perpetuity at the World's Fair site, and he also wanted to keep the statue of King Jagiełły in New York. Already in 1939, just after the start of the war, that was being discussed. I'd like to invite Jan Loris to come to the podium, and I'd also then, he will speak on the Polish Pavilion, and after him will speak Ted Mirecki.
In 1925, newly independent Poland participated in the Paris Exposition des Arts Décoratifs, popularly recognized at the beginning of the Art Deco period. The Polish government gladly accepted the invitation to participate in the 1939 New York International Exposition, The World of Tomorrow. A reporter from Poland, W.Jagiełły, praised the pavilion, and I quote, "It belongs to the best of the foreign countries. It does not impress with its size, it's true. We can't afford a large building. But the pavilion attracts attention by its originality and daring of concept. On the white background of the other pavilion, suddenly the 50-meter gold huge tower of the Polish pavilion shoots up, different in its background and catching the eye of the visitor. Outside of the entrance stood a mounted figure in bronze of King Jagiełły, the Polish and Lithuanian king who in 1410 had defeated the Teutonic Knights at Grunwald, thus halting their encroachment on Polish and Lithuanian territory, and who united the two countries, forming a powerful commonwealth. Given Adolf Hitler's saber rattling of the late 1930s, the choice of Jagiełły was a subtle reminder to the Germans. Ostrowski's statue had been chosen at the last moment and does not figure in either the pavilion catalog or posters or postal stamps. Currently, the commanding statue is in Central Park near the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Underline the special relationship between Poland and the United States, usually summed up as Kościuszko, Pulaski, and Washington. The official opening of the Polish Pavilion was not on April 3rd, which was opened up, April 30th, which opened up the fair, but on May 3rd, the anniversary of the signing of the short-lived Polish Constitution of 1791, second in the world after the American one, and defended in a losing war against the Russian armies of Catherine the Great by Tadeusz Kościuszko.
Archaeology. and in large part created an optimistic vision of the new state by showing the illustrious motto of the World's Fair, which was building the world of tomorrow. Against the lofty art latticework of the Golden Tower was placed the statue of W.Jagiełły by the sculptor Stanisław Kazimierz-Ostrowski, who lived 1879 to 1974, an eminent artist known for the design of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Warsaw and many busts of prominent Poles. Now, despite its association with the typically Art Deco pavilion and the artwork contained there, this design of the statue precedes Art Deco by many years and was conceived in the Post art area. End quote. In March of 1939, a monument left by ship from the port of Lisbon, Livorno, to far-off America for the World's Fair in New York, to its intended purpose, as we know, of adding glory to the Polish monument. This scene is from the opening, which was a few days after the rest of the fair's opening.
I was fortunate enough to be at the World's Fair. And I was very impressed with the World's Fair and the Polish exhibit. That pride, consciously or subconsciously, took me into my adult life. And so I have always maintained my pride in being Polish. And to this day, I do remain active in Polonia. And even at 86, I'm slowing down. I'm very proud to be there. Thank you very much.
Okay, I was asked to talk about, in a session entitled Jagiełł's Vision of a United Europe, and I replied, I'm not sure that Jagiełły had a vision of a united Europe, but he certainly had a vision of union, and that's what I am going to talk about today. Emerging from pagan darkness, Jagiełł's vision. I didn't choose Jagiełły as my subject. Jagiełły sort of chose me. I signed a contract, I think 1990 something, with Oxford University Press to write a one-volume history for their History of Early Modern Europe series. And they said, will you write a history of Poland? And I said no, because there wasn't such a thing. There was a union between Poland and Lithuania. And they said, okay. And they gave me a contract to write a history of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, 1569 to, and I chose 1815, the fourth partition. And you can't understand what happens after 1569 unless you understand how the union was made. So I had a question, and that's what brought me to Jagiełły, because he was the man who above all else, and in conjunction with his cousin Vytautas, formed that union.
Of the unions. And that's the reason why we would like to recognize Senator, friend of Polonia, very well person, dedicated, patriotic, showing our support for her mission, not only her mission, but mission which she followed after her mother, and we would like to tell her that we support her, and she can count on us. I would like to say that we are very pleased that we had a chance to see Anna Maria Anders on several occasions, including on National Shrine in Częstochowa, in many places. Anna Maria Anders cooperates with the Polish-American Congress, with our organization. Not so long ago she marched in a Pulaski parade, making another event. And I think so we need such kinds of people who build the image of Poland. In the same time, she makes things which is very important for us. showing how to make a bridge between people, how people can cooperate. Besides, she directs many of her steps to the young generation also, knowing that young generation has to be properly taught in order later to perform to the best of the Polonia and our country, Poland. Finishing the short introduction, I would like to ask Senator Anna Maria Anders to step forward. The medal which I would like to offer presents Tadeusz Kościuszko, pure song on liberty. So everything is related to our patriotic mission in the United States. Let's read quickly the certificate which goes together with the medal. Certificate says, in recognition of her support for the Polonia, supporting prestige of Polish-American engineers and technicians in the United States of America. Anna Maria Anders, congratulations. And let's maybe take a picture. Thank you very much. We wish you the best, and I can affirm that you can count on us